All right, guys, we have another cover price top 10. This one 6 months later. All right, guys, we are going to get into our cover price top 10 6 months later list right now. But real quick, if you don't know about cover price, let me fill you in. This list does come from our friends at Cover Price, focusing on their top 10 from 6 months ago. That's right. We heard you. There were multiple requests to go back only 6 months instead of a year. I'll take you through how each title's sales compare from the market values, then to today's current values. How did these comics do? What had a boost in price? What had a bust? And remember, if you guys enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. We're going right into this list. Let's go into number 10. This is Future State Teen Titans number 1. 6 months ago, this new title, featuring the first cameo appearance of Future State Red X on the last page, was in high demand thanks to significant interest in Red X and his or her identity. Raw copies were selling for $15 and there were no graded copies at the time. 6 months later, we still don't know what Red X's identity is, who they are. While we wait, the first cameo of Future State Red X is holding on to the same prices 6 months ago, with the exceptions of 9/8 now showing about $100, a little over. There's still potential with this book. This is a break-even investment at this point, guys. 15 back then, 15 now. We didn't have 9/8 then. We do now. They're just over $100. Could be a nice little investment. People were loving Red X. If you guys have only been in this hobby a year or so, you probably remember the hype behind this book. With that, let's go to number 9. This is Batman number 96, the Jorge Jimenez design variant. This is that 1 in 25. 6 months ago, speculation began spreading everywhere that Red X's identity may be Bao Femme, aka Clown Hunter, who first appeared in this issue. As this speculation spread, his 1 in 25 variant really started moving and had high sales of $299 and a 9.8, $100 raw. The reveal had a lot of anticipation. 6 months later, prices have dropped as the speculation of Bao as Red X wanes. Today, raws sell for a fair market value of $56. 9/8 are selling at $56. This is a bust. However, there's still some possibilities of this character down the road. Guys, raw, $100. 6 months later, $56. $300 in 9.8s. We're down to $130 in 9.8. It's a bust, but with that being said, you almost see where this book could go if, in fact, the identity is revealed. Again, 6 months ago, you're going to start seeing a few busts on this list that we haven't previously seen before. Let's move on to number 8. This is Amazing Spider-Man 361. My goodness, 6 months ago, we were begging for a new Let There Be Carnage trailer. High expectations around a trailer releasing soon pushed this to all new heights, and a high sale of raws at $200. Almost $1,400 for a 9.8. 6 months later, we finally got a new trailer. However, who knew it would take so long? Surprisingly, while raw prices have increased, 9.8s have dropped significantly. Raws now sell for $300 plus. 9.8 fair market value is right around $953. Boost for a raw, bust for graded. However, this is simply the calm before the storm. Once we get another trailer and get more carnage in action, these should go back up. Guys, we just got another trailer. We just got the Carnage, the Let There Be Carnage trailer. What a great time to do this video. You've seen on the screen just now what 9.8s are averaging at. Go look right now what 9.8s are going at, because you may have just seen a little bit of a bump just from the trailer. Now, my personal opinion, I think Venom looks horrible. I think they're making a mockery of the character that is Venom. Carnage, however, and Woody Harrelson look pretty awesome. Just my opinion. Please don't attack me. I just think Venom looks a little too, and when I say looks, I guess sounds and is talking a little too goofy for me. I want Venom. I don't want this goofy mockery of the character of Venom that we all know and love. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. Let's move on to number 7. This is Captain America number 25. Last year, we were all getting ready for the Falcon and Winter Soldier. As you all know, in Endgame, Sam Wilson was given the Captain America shield from an elderly Steve Rogers, which lit a fire on the only solid Phase 4 expectation, that Sam Wilson would take up the mantle in Disney Plus's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. However, in 2019, while talking to IGN on the Disney Plus red carpet at Disney D23 Expo, Anthony Mackie stated, "I'm not Captain America. Just because he told me to hold his shield, he didn't say, 'You're Captain America now.'" This news squashed that speculation and greatly slowed sales, only to recirculate due to a recent toy image leak showing the Falcon in the Captain America-inspired costume, first seen in this issue. To throw another wrench into the rumor, Anthony Mackie once again brushed off the rumors, replying to an interview question with SiriusXM on whether he's Captain America. "No, we don't know that yet. At no point in time did I agree or say that I would be Captain America." Regardless, this book was still moving with Raws at $20, high sale of $202.50 for a CGC 9.8. 6 months later, we now know that Mackie nailed deflecting speculation. As soon as we saw him in costume, sales spiked big time. However, with all the other content from shows like Loki, the market moved on a bit. Raws increased to a fair market value of $38. However, at its height, Raws hit as high as $150. 9.8s are currently selling for around $215, though a severe drop from the all-time high of $660 in April. Though if you compare this to 6 months ago, it's pretty much a break even. Obviously, we will see more of Mackie as Captain America, but will this book bounce back? I love this cover. I love this character. Cap, when Mackie came out in the Cap garb, I thought he looked awesome. It was actually my favorite part of the Falcon Winter Soldier Disney Plus. I do think this book is slightly undervalued. Just my opinion. Just a little bit undervalued. Do I think it's a $600+ 9.8? I don't. Do I think it's closer to maybe a $300 to $400 book? I do. Just my opinion. I do think there's a little undervalue here. There are variants to this book as well that are all over the place, but when I say all over the place, I just mean in value, not like you can find them all over the place. Great book. Love the cover. And with that, let's go to number 6. I mean, it's been a while since we talked about Star Wars, so maybe we should talk about it again. Star Wars, The High Republic number 1. 6 months ago, High Republic was on fire. It was easily the hottest book at the beginning of the year, with Raws hitting $42, 9.8s at $100. Today, Raw values have fallen to a fair market value of $30. 9.8 slightly down at $90. However, this slight decrease is due to high market flooding. It seems like everyone and their mother has a copy of this book. That doesn't diminish its long-term potential. However, some of the rarer variants seem to be favored over this one. This is a break even, guys. Star Wars High Republic number 1. I remember everybody was talking about this book, and yet it is everywhere. Money to be made on this? I'm not sure, but you can see it's a break even. If you like the book, buy it. 9.8's around $100. Why not? Give it a whirl. Number 5 on our list is Love from IDW. Now, here's one where comic collectors stretch things a bit. And don't get me wrong, comic collectors do stretch things a bit. But back in January, it was announced that Warner Brothers was developing a Harry Potter live-action TV series at HBO Max. While having no connection or origins in comics, comic fans still sought out the first appearance of Harry Potter within a comic book, landing on this one shot. This issue features a one-page pinup by Jim Lee of the whole gang lifting their wands to form a rainbow. It reached raw heights of $100, $249.99 for a CGC 9.8. 6 months later, this book has a fair market value of $30 with 9.8s at $150. While it's way up from its pre-news prices of $5, it's still a bust when compared to 6 months ago. This is a bust. This list has been giving us a lot of busts or break evens. I do like doing these 6 months back, though. It'll be interesting 6 months from now when we cover this one 1 year later. I got the image on the screen now. I don't know what you guys think about it. Do I think it's a major book? I don't. And with that, let's go to number 4. The Electric Black number 1 variant. This is the 1 in 10. 6 months ago, Scout Comics, via a press release, announced the Electric Black is now in development as an adult cartoon TV series. Make Good Content, Starburns Industries, and Scout Comics are attached to produce. This news helped a raw sale hit a new high of $39.95 and no graded copies. 6 months later, this now sells for $15 raw, and 9.8s have popped up for a fair market value of $85. Keep in mind that animation projects take years, and this is going to be a pretty awesome series. So while this is a bust, take the time to look out for cheap copies. The Electric Black, guys, it's from 2019. Scout Comics, keep an eye out on this book. Animation does take a long time. He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revelations just came out, and we've known about this project for a couple of years. So think about it. There may be money here to be made. Keep an eye out for this book. This is the 1 in 10 variant. Let's go down to number 3. This is Mystic, number 15, a cross-gen book from 2001. Oh boy. Touching upon number 5's entry regarding Harry Potter, this was another issue that is being hailed as the first appearance of Harry Potter in a comic. It's not. In this issue, representations of various magical characters, including Doctor Strange, appear in several panels. The Harry Potter in question has a very slight resemblance, but it's seen holding a star wand. Just to make it clear, legally, that it's not the same character and just a fun nod. Regardless, others really pushed this as the first appearance of Harry, hence it hitting a high sale of $100 for raw copy and no graded copies. 6 months later, collectors realized this was a stretch and raws fell to a fair market value of $11. No graded copies ever came to market. Here is a bust. Again, people stretching for Harry Potter. Come on. Let's go to number 2. Let's go back to Star Wars. This is Star Wars The High Republic number 1. This is the second print. With the massive heat around High Republic number 1, the second print was highly anticipated. It sold a ton of copies and was selling for $20 raw with a high sale of $109.99 for a CGC 9.8. 6 months later, there are a ton of copies out there and sales have greatly slowed. Raws now sell for $10 and 9.8s at $55. Time will tell how this fares long term, but it had massive orders and will take significant time to go back up. Another bust on our list. I don't think we've had a Star Wars bust yet since we started doing this, but here, maybe there's room for this to grow. Again, guys, we're only doing a 6-month list here. So usually we're doing 1 year or 2 year. There's plenty of time for this stuff to go. I'm super excited about that Carnage book. But with that, I just want to remind you guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, feel free to do it. And with that, let's go to number 1 on our cover price list 6 months later. This is the Electric Black, number 1. 6 months ago, this standard cover was a rare occasion when a non-Marvel or DC book made it to the top spot. This Scout book is a fun twist on Needful Things meets Tales from the Crypt and has a growing fan base. Upon the news, this standard coverage sold for $25 and $79.99 for a CGC 9.8. 6 months later, raw sell for $15, 9.8 sell for $100, so a slight bust for raw, slight boost for graded. We already talked about this book. Again, this is the cover price 6 months later, top 10. I'm going to hit you up with some little cover price news right now. This is it. There you go. As requested, a top 10 book from 6 months ago. What do you guys think of the list? Please leave a comment down below if you like this 6-month list. You can see a lot more busts in the hot books back in late January to early February. Several of these books have been great to sell at the height, and hopefully you did. A lot of these also still have long-term potential. So this might be a fun one to revisit next year. With that said, if you would have bought these at market 6 months ago, it would have cost you $662 raw, $2,437 graded for those that did have graded books. 6 months later, those raws would now sell for $513. The 9/8, $1,693. Only with those books that had values 6 months ago. Just remember, not all these had the 9.8 grade. This would have lost you $149 raw and also lost you $744 graded. When you compare these to our other 1 year and 2 year later lists, big characters with key appearance turned into big investments, where some of these flavors of the week went the other way. Definitely some lessons here. Falcon as cap, Carnage were big surprise dips. But again, with that Venom 2 trailer just hitting, I believe now that you're watching this Wednesday, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, just came out. Go check the sales right now on Carnage 9.8. You might be pleasantly surprised where the book's starting to creep back up again, because again, I think Carnage did look pretty awesome in that. Make sure too, you check out covrprice.com and see what's on their top 10 list, various trending and movers and shakers list. You guys can actually check those lists out over at Lords of the Long Box. They do those weekly over there. And come back for the next show. Let's see how these books did, and we're going to jump back to 1 year later. I do like those lists. I hope you guys do. Let me hear what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, keep it comics.